in high definition. This is Fox 28 News at 10.
It's money and yeah, it's just tough. It's just tough.
A mother remembers the son she lost way too soon, a popular Fenville teen. His life cut short on the basketball court. Good evening, I'm Tracy Capelman.
And I'm Tom Powell. Thanks for being here tonight. March 3rd marks the one-year anniversary of that tragic day when Fenville All-Star Wes Leonard died on the court just moments after making the game-winning shot in overtime.
Fox 28's Casey Jones sat down with Leonard's mother and coach to find out more about who Leonard was.
Even after a year, the emotion of this loss is untouched. Wes Leonard was the kid who everyone looked to. The 16-year-old was a leader in his community, and that day, March 3rd, brought Fenville to the highest of highs, then the lowest of lows.
You never saw people so happy and buoyant and screaming, and I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people were just happy, and you know, it's what every high school kid dreams of, right? The winning shot. So, yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings when I look at that picture.
Everyone in Fenville wanted to be more like Wes Leonard. He was his mother's baby, his father's pride, the small-town hero.
He was a lot more than that game.
He played through broken elbows, you know, dislocated shoulders.
The legacy is what type of kid he was, how he lived.
He would do it. I mean, he would, you know, he would do everything just to play.
To play just one more game, his motto. And that night, that game should have been just one more game. But in an instant, it became timeless.
I remember on March 3rd, before the bad stuff happened, was how happy he looked. Because he didn't usually allow himself to be happy, but his teammates were just so thrilled with everything. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, look how happy he looks. You know, and then it all went horrible, but I do remember that feeling and that emotion, that I was just so glad he allowed himself to have that moment.
That moment. That moment was supposed to be the end of the story, where the hero is lifted and carried away. But that moment will be forever marked with tragedy.
You know, those words like destiny and legacy, I kept getting them mixed up, and I cried and cried for the first couple months that this was his destiny. I you know, carried him, I raised him, I cried over him, I disciplined him and felt guilty about it, and you know, all this, and his destiny was to die like this, so young.
You know, every day I wonder why, and you try to put the idea in your head that it's, you know, that God does something like this for the betterment of all of us.
It's been a year, but still, the wounds are raw. Leonard's mother has started a team in his honor, the Wes Leonard Heart Team, educating others of the importance of an automatic defibrillator.
Do I like doing this? It's not what I wanted to be doing at all. But I don't think you watch your son die and not do anything about it. I mean, what kind of person are you if you don't do anything?
You know, if we had an AED that night, you know, there's a great chance that he's still with us today.
People will always remember that shot, frozen in time. But Wes Leonard was so much more than just that shot. His legacy, greater even than his death. He's still leading, still winning. He's still the hero of Fenville.
I take it back. I just know I remember Xavier saying once in an interview, I'd give up everything to have him back. You know, we'd live out of our car if we could have him back.
And you can tell that that community is really, they're going to let the legacy of Wes Leonard live forever.
That's for sure. And Casey, you were in that gym last year. You shot, you know, that shot. What was it like being back?
I went back for the first time last month when they were putting the banner up, and there's such a sense of community in that place. And for me, walking back in there, it rehashed all those memories of that night, and what an important day that was for not only Fennville, but the entire state of Michigan and the Midwest and this country. And it's really, it's got a huge impact on me.
I was just going to ask you that. This is obviously something in your career you will never forget. Has it changed you?
It's definitely changed the way that I approach what I do on a nightly basis. So many times you're going out and you're shooting highlights and you're coming back and you're cutting the highlights and you're doing it. And then when something like that happens, it really puts into perspective what you're doing every night. And for me, I think I realized that it's not highlights. Every night I go out, I'm telling these athletes stories. Every night it's their story. And I think that was clear that night for me, that I'm telling his story.
And as a mother, I watch her and I can't fathom what she's gone through, and how good of her to talk about it and to live out his legacy like she's doing.
It's definitely, I mean, you can tell that emotion is still raw.
Absolutely.
And it's extremely difficult to talk about, but for her, she feels the only way to bring awareness to everyone is to talk about what they did wrong, so that hopefully this won't happen again.
That's for sure, and we thank her for talking to us. All right, Casey, thanks.